Evan gripped Captain Mirasol's arm as the reception line shuffled forward. Silk-robed Virith courtiers parted before them, their iridescent scales shimmering under the palace's crystal chandeliers. He straightened his Terran envoy uniform, ignoring the sweat beading on his neck. The Queen stood at the line's end. Queen Serethval towered 7 feet tall, her lithe frame clad in flowing obsidian robes that hugged curves no human tailor could match. 4 powerful legs, 2 primary, 2 secondary, supported her, each ending in polished claws that clicked softly on the marble floor. Her multifaceted eyes gleamed amber, fixing on Evan. He stepped up, bowed low, too low. His forehead nearly brushed her midsection. "Your Majesty," he said, straightening fast. Words tumbled out before protocol training kicked in. "Damn, you've got legs for days." Silence crashed down. Courtiers froze. Mira hissed behind him. "Evan!" Queen Sereth tilted her head. Her mandibles clicked once. A Virith trill of curiosity. "Repeat that into the court recorder, Terran envoy." Evan blinked. A hovering orb of silver alloy drifted forward, its lens whirring. Chancellor Keth Rune, the hawk-faced administrator, stepped from the shadows, his robes rustling like dry leaves. "State it clearly, human Hale," Keth demanded. His voice buzzed with accusation. The Queen's words bind all. Evan glanced at Mira. She mouthed, "Abort." But the Queen's eyes held him. Curious.
"Not angry. Sure." He leaned toward the recorder. "Your Majesty has legs for days."
"Killer physique." The orb chimed, locked. Keth's scales flushed crimson. This is no idle flattery. Under Virith custom, such a claim invokes the right of verification, a formal request to inspect the truth of the compliment. Murmurs rippled through the court. Mira's hand tightened on her sidearm holster. Evan's stomach dropped. Wait, what? It was just a compliment. "Literal words demand literal proof," Keth snapped. "You challenge the Queen's form. She must verify, or disprove, your audacity." Queen Sereth raised a clawed hand. Silence fell again. The Terran speaks plainly. "I accept the request." Her voice hummed, resonant and smooth. "Envoy Hale, attend me in private audience. We inspect the claim up close." Keth bowed stiffly. "Majesty, this human maneuvers politically." Enough. Sereth's secondary leg shifted, propelling her forward. She loomed over Evan. Heat radiated from her scales, carrying a scent like warm spice. Follow. Guards flanked them. Mira surged forward. "With respect, Your Majesty, I accompany my charge." Sereth's eyes flicked to her. "The rank permits one witness. You may guard the door." They swept through arched corridors. Crystal walls pulsed with inner light. Evan matched Sereth's stride, barely. His engineer boots thudded against her silent claw steps. Mira leaned close. "You just invoked alien marriage law, idiot." "Stay alive." "Marriage?" Evan's voice cracked. "Not quite," she muttered, "but close."
"Virith take claims seriously. Verify or die trying."
The doors to the private audience chamber irised open. Inside, a vast cushioned platform dominated, ringed by data screens and scent vents. No throne, intimate, exposed. Sereth settled onto the cushions. Her robes parted slightly, revealing the sleek muscle of her primary legs. "Sit, Evan Hale."
"Verify."
He perched on the edge, heart hammered. "Look, I didn't mean." Words bind. She extended one leg, claws retracting. The limbs stretched impossibly long, segmented yet fluid. Scales gleamed like polished obsidian. "Inspect, as requested." Evan swallowed, touched the surface tentatively. Warm, smooth as synth leather, firm beneath. His fingers traced a ridge. Power coiled there, like suspension cables under skin. "Impressive engineering," he said. Honesty overrode panic. "Human legs break under half this load." "Yours?" "Built for worlds." Her mandibles parted in a Virith smile. Rare, Mira had briefed him. "You see truth where others simper. Why speak so boldly?" "Cultural thing." He met her gaze. Those eyes pulled him in. Facets shifting colors. Terrans value directness. "Say what we see." Keth burst through the doors, orb trailing. "Majesty," the court demands. Sereth's tail lashed. "Out, Chancellor." "This verification is mine." Keth glared at Evan. "He schemes to undermine protocol. Humans feign humility to dominate."
Mira blocked the doorway. "Back off, Hawk."
Or I demonstrate Terran directness. Keth retreated, seething. Sereth chuckled, a low vibration Evan felt in his chest. Your protector amuses. Now continue. Evan's hand lingered on her leg. Heat built, not just scales. Biology thrummed beneath. These secondary limbs, stabilizers? Balance, sensory amplifiers. She flexed, brushing his thigh. Accidental? Feel. He did. Vibration hummed up his arm. Pheromones thickened the air, spicy, intoxicating. Human instincts warred with duty. You're not like our diplomats, she said. They weave lies.
You expose.
Engineers fix problems. He grinned despite himself. Lies break under stress. Truth holds. Her claw grazed his jaw. Gentle, precise. Truth, rare in courts. Eyes locked. Time stretched. A chime interrupted. Keth's voice boomed from an intercom. Majesty, the full court assembles. The right requires public affirmation, or judgment. Sereth withdrew, stood fluidly. The claim verifies, but the Chancellor twists custom. She offered a hand, four-fingered, strong. Join me. Show them Terran truth. Evan took it. Skin tingled. Lead on. Mira fell in behind as they exited. You're in deep, she whispered. Queens don't touch casually. The grand hall awaited. Courtiers packed the tiers. Keth stood central, recorder orb orbiting. Envoy Hale's claim invoked Right 47B, Keth intoned. Verification complete. Sereth ascended the dais, pulling Evan beside her. Shock rippled through the crowd. Verified, she declared. Pateran's sight proves true. His words honor. Keth's eyes narrowed. Yet custom demands bond sealing, a trial of proximity. Mira tensed. Evan felt Sereth's grip tighten. Possessive? Granted, Sereth said. Evan Hale quarters with me. Forced proximity. We test endurance. Gasps echoed. Keth smirked. Victory? Evan's pulse raced. Sereth leaned close, breath warm on his ear. Trust builds in closeness, Terran. Survive my court. Claim me truly. Her scent enveloped him. Challenge. Promise. Mira muttered, Welcome to hell, sir. As guards escorted them toward royal wings, Evan realized one compliment had chained him to a queen's side, and part of him didn't mind. The chamber doors sealed. Sereth's claws clicked toward a private alcove. Disrobe for full inspection. Custom requires. Mira outside, pounding futilely. Game on. Evan yanked his collar straight. Queen Sereth, wait! Her claws paused mid-gesture. Iridescent scales gleamed under alcove lights, shifting from sapphire to violet. She turned, four eyes narrowing. Too large, too small. All locked on him. Custom binds us, Terran. Verification demands sight of all. He scanned the alcove. Silk drapes, low couch. No exits. Mira's fists thudded against the sealed doors. Sir, open up! Sereth's tail flicked, dismissive. Your guard remains outside. Here, only truth. Evan's goal sharpened. Survive inspection without breaking taboo touch. He spotted a side table, scarves, a slim ruler etched with ball measurements. Perfect. Permission to demonstrate Terran precision? No contact. She tilted her head. Scales rippled curiosity, granted, but delay tests my patience. He snatched a crimson scarf, draped it loose over his palm, then the ruler. Stepped forward, close enough to smell her scent, like spiced ozone. Heart hammered. You asked what I praised. These. He pointed the ruler at her shoulder markings. Swirling galaxies in gold and black, pulsing faintly. Sereth's breath hitched. She shrugged off her outer robe. Fabric pooled at her feet. Underneath, a sheer vest clung to her torso. Markings bloomed across collarbone, ribs, down to hips. Living art, breathing with her pulse. Name them precisely. Custom requires. Evan held the scarf barrier between them, extended the ruler. Tip hovered an inch from her skin. Galactic whorls. Here. He measured. 10 centimeters from central swirl to outer arm. Symmetrical. Vibrant. Noted the glow's rhythm. Faster now. Extraordinary detail. Like star maps. Her large eyes widened. Small ones blinked rapid. Terrans see such without tools. Engineers measure everything. He traced air with ruler. No touch. Distance perfect, no flaws. Sereth leaned in. Scarf brushed her scales. She didn't recoil. Flattery or fact? Fact, he straightened. Your court's awe matches it. A chime echoed. Doors unsealed a crack. Chancellor Keith's voice sliced through. Highness. Protocol violation. Right 47B forbids barriers. Direct verification. Sereth's tail lashed. Doors slammed shut. I override. The Terran's method intrigues. She circled him. Close. Heat radiated. Yet certainty eludes. Proximity trial begins now. Evan backed up. Hit the couch. What does that entail? Her claws grazed his sleeve. Light. Electric. You quarters here. Observe my markings unbound. Day and night. Until trust seals the bond. Pulse raced. Goal. Negotiate space.
My team.
Denied. She pressed a panel. Alcove walls shimmered. Force field activated. Mira's shouts muffled to nothing. Custom tests endurance. Fail. And Keth claims deceit. Succeed. And you honor me truly. He sat rigid. Her scent intensified. Biology kicked in. Pheromones? Focus. How do I observe without offense? Sereth shed the vest. Stood bare from waist up. Markings swirled full glory. Abdomen galaxies linked to thigh spirals. She posed. Precise.
Study! Measure!
Speak truths only. Evan swallowed. Grabbed scarf again. Ruler trembled slight. Permission renewed? Always. Amusement curled her lips. Fanged, sharp. He worked methodically. Scarf shield. Ruler tip danced air. 15 units to naval cluster. Glow syncs with breath. Inhale. Expand 2%. Her skin warmed under proximity. Scales quivered. Sereth's breath deepened. Terran eyes pierce veils. My kind needs touch to verify. Not us. He logged mentally. Patterns predicted pulse. Predictable beauty. Efficient. She laughed. Low. Resonant. Efficient? You reduce queens to machines? Compliment. He met her gaze. 4 eyes held his. Vulnerable? No. Commanding. Beauty serves function. Yours signals health. Status. Intrigue sparked in her small eyes. Few see so. She stepped closer. Scarf barrier thinned. Test deeper. My lower markings demand measure. Evan hesitated. Thighs. Intimate territory. Conflict surged. Politeness versus survival.
Scarf stays.
She overrode again. Claws hooked his shirt hem. Tore upward. Fabric ripped clean. Terran custom yields to Vol. Chest bare now. Cool air hit skin. Her gaze roamed. Fascinated. No scales. Soft, yet strong. He clutched ruler like lifeline. Measure yours first. They bantered measures into hours. She posed. He quantified. Distance, glow rates, symmetry scores. Her tail brushed his leg accidental. Zap of static. Both froze. Sensitivity? She murmured. Human norm. Lie hers tingled deeper. Keth's orb drone buzzed at field edge. Recorder word. Highness. The court awaits progress. Envoy's reluctance signals ploy. Sereth snarled. Swatted it away. Progress thrives. Leave us.
Drone retreated.
Evan exhaled. Goal shifted. Build trust escape Keth's trap. Your Chancellor's pushing narrative. Always. She sank beside him on couch. Bare shoulder inches away. He fears Terran sway. Queen's bond once. Rare. Heat built. Forced proximity worked. Too well. Her markings pulsed near his skin. Bond how? Earned certainty. Claw traced air near his collarbone. You praised. Now prove devotion survives trial. Evan nodded. Adapted. Pulled scarf double layer. 24 units to hip flare. Perfect ratio. She shivered. Leaned in. Touch verifies faster. Not yet. He held firm. Competitive shown. Humans endured. Measured. Stayed honest. Dawnlight filtered crystal panes. Mira's relief team hammered outside. Futile. Sereth dozed light. Markings dimmed. Evan watched. Patterns memorized. Her trust? Growing. Footsteps echoed hall. Doors unsealed. Captain Mira burst in. Blaster holstered. Eyes wild.
Sir!
Keth's rally in court. Claims you're ensnared. Sereth rose fluid. Claws flexed. He lies. Evan proves true. Evan stood, shirtless, ruler in hand. Data supports her. Mira blinked, scanned Sereth's bare form. Data. Markings verified. Effaced Queen. Trial continues? Sereth's eyes gleamed. Yes, but now court witnesses. She donned robe. Partial. Pulled him close, arm around waist. Possessive. Follow. Show them Terran worth. Keth waited in Grand Hall. Courtiers hushed. Highness, release the envoy. Bond unsealed. False. Sereth thrust Evan's ruler forward. A measured perfection, without deceit. Proximity binds us further. Keth's 4 eyes bulged.
Impossible. Custom rewritten.
She declared.
Crowd murmured awe. Human ingenuity awed them. Precise. Untouching. Evan's hand brushed hers accidental. Skin tingled mutual. Her small eyes winked. Mira smirked. Deeper in, sir. Trial escalated. Sereth led him back. Private wing now shared. Tonight, no scarf. Certainty nears. Evan's pulse spiked. Romance bloomed unbidden. One compliment chained him. Now he chose the links. Chancellor Keth shadowed. Plotting next move. Game far from over. Guards lunged forward. Evan tensed beside Queen Sereth. 4 armored Valari closed ranks, claws gripping stun lances. Chancellor Keth raised a data slate, his 4 eyes locked on Evan. By Edict 4-7. Prime. I petition detention. The Terran manipulated royal consent through false measurement. Bind him. Sereth's arm tightened around Evan's waist. Her scales hummed against his skin. Stand down, Chancellor. He measured true. Courtiers gasped. Whispers rippled like wind through crystal blinds. Keth thrust the slate forward. Hollow projections flared. Evan's ruler against Sereth's markings. Deception. Humans ensnare with tools. He offends custom. Proximity demands verification by claw alone. Evan's pulse steadied. Mira shifted at his flank, hand hovering near her holster. He met Sereth's gaze. Her small eyes flickered curiosity. No fear. Good. Request public demonstration, Evan said. Voice even. Clarify human intent. No manipulation. Keth sneered. Terran trickery. Court. Seize. Sereth silenced him with a claw flick. Granted. Demonstrate, Evan Hale. Prove your casual honesty. Guards halted. Tension coiled the hall. Evan stepped forward. Sereth released him reluctant. Her warmth lingered on his side. He faced the throne dais. Hundreds of eyes. 4 per Valari. Fixed on him. Human protocol. Steady under scrutiny. Watch. Evan inhaled slow. Diaphragm expanded. Exhale measured. Heart rate dropped to 72 BPM. No tools needed. Keth circled. Posture faint. He hides intent. Scan me, Evan said. Nodded to Mira. She activated her wrist unit. Beam swept him. Vitals public. Breathing controlled. Eye contact direct. Hollow display bloomed midair. Graph spiked steady. Courtiers leaned in. Awe murmurs grew. Sereth tilted her head. Markings pulsed faint blue. Terrans command their forms. Without pheromones or glands, one courtier hissed admiration.
He stares unblinking.
Our warriors flinch. Evan held Keth's gaze. All 4 eyes. Chancellor's mandibles clicked unease. Irrelevant. Consent manipulation persists. Intent clear, Evan said. Compliment was data. Not binding. Humans verify claims open. Sereth glided closer. Her scent, ozone and spice filled his space. Data binds here. You verified mine. Now court verifies yours. She extended a claw, touched his chest. Light. Scales chilled his skin. Evan didn't flinch. Breathing held. Gasps echoed. She tests without challenge, Keth barked. Highness. Protocol forbids. Unescorted. Escorted. Now. Sereth withdrew claw. Eyes gleamed. Evan Hale, my guest. Escorted by royal decree. Detention blocked. Crowd erupted. Cheers mixed shock. Keth's slate clattered. His eyes narrowed fury. Mira gripped Evan's arm. Whispered, Sir, that's queen-level claim. You're in her wing permanent. Evan nodded. Arm possessive again. Arm possessive again. Partial robe slipped, revealing thigh markings. His hand brushed hers intentional this time. Spark jumped. Follow, she murmured, led through archway. Private wing awaited. Keth shouted after. This rewrites covenant. Petition escalates. Doors sealed. Silence dropped. Sareth faced him. Robe loosened further. They witnessed Terran calm. Keth falters. Evan swallowed. Proximity heated. Demo worked. Trust. Her claws traced his jaw. Gentle. Building. Tonight, no barriers. Mira cleared throat. I'll post guards outside, sir. Sareth waved dismissal. Mira exited smart. Alone. Evan memorized her patterns anew, dimmed to soft violet. Relaxed. You choose links, she said. Echoed his thought, pulled him to divan. He sat. She straddled his lap fluid. Weight perfect. Scales warm now. Human endurance? Claw circled his neck. Not threat.
Best.
Evan gripped her waist. Steady. Proven. Lips met. Hers parted mandibles slight. Kiss alien. Vibrations hummed tongue. His hands roamed. Found sensitive ridges. She arched. Trust sealed. Skin deep. Footsteps outside. Keth's voice rose distant. Assemble elders. Human ensnares queen. Sareth broke kiss. Eyes fierce. He plots. Stay. We counter together. Evan nodded. Romance chained them. Dame escalated. Crystal chimes rang hall adjacent. Emergency convocation. Sareth rose reluctant, donned full robe. Court reconvenes. You attend. As guest, Evan straightened shirt. Ruler pocketed. Ready. They emerged arm in arm. Courtiers parted. Awe parted wider. Human calm awed them anew. Keth stood dais. Elders flanked. 7 grim Ballery. Crests flared. Highness, bind the Terran. Is demo mocks custom. Proximity invites full verification. Claws only. Sarith thrust chin.
He withstands. Better than your warriors.
Elder One rumbled. Proof? Evan stepped up. Another demo. Human limits. Keth lunged. No! Arrest. Guards hesitated. Sareth's glare froze them. Proceed, she commanded. Evan stripped vest. Bared torso. Scrutiny full. Breathe. Eyes. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Vitals steady. Die, elders scanned. Graphs flawless. Impossible, Elder 2 hissed. No gland flares. Pure will, Sareth smiled. Fangs gleamed. Terran worth, proven. Guest status permanent. Keth slammed slate. Manipulation. He compliments casual, finds fate. Evan met Queen's eyes. Intent. Honest. Bridge. Not chain. She nodded. Pulled him close public. Hand on chest. Bridge accepted. Crowd roared approval. Keth deflated. Elders bowed. Mira smirked. Edge. Deeper, sir. Royals now. Private wing later. Sareth shed robe complete. Markings blazed gold. No scarf, she whispered. Guided his hands. Evan explored. Precise. Her moans vibrated air. Trust bloomed full. Climax shared. Bodies synced. Human endurance met Bahalari fire. Dawn neared. Sareth curled against him. Keth yields not. But you. Mine. Evan stroked scales. Ours. Hall doors pounded. Mira's voice urgent. Sir! Keth's coup! Elders swayed partial. Arrest warrant incoming. Sareth bolted up. Claws extended. He dares. Evan grabbed ruler. Dressed fast. Demo time. Public again. She grinned. Romance-fueled resolve. Test peaked. Evan burst through the hall doors. Sareth's claws laced tight in his hand. Mira flanked them. Pistol drawn low. Guards scattered as the Queen's roar echoed off crystal walls. Keth! Sareth snarled. Her tail lashed, knocking a vase to shards. The Chancellor stood at the Grand Atrium's center. Elders clustered behind him. Warrants glowed on his slate, projected for all to see. Treachery proven, my queen. The Terran binds you with false words. Arrest him. Evan squared his shoulders. Heart pounded steady. No time for fear. Public test. Right now, gravity gallery. Let her prove it. Sareth's eyes flashed gold. She released his hand and strode forward. Accepted. Gallery. All witness. Keth's frills flared. Insanity. He collapses, your shame eternal. Mira, step between. He won't. Stand down. Guards hesitated, eyes darting. The crowd swelled. Courtiers, warriors, drones buzzing hollow records. Sareth waved them on. Evan followed her lead, boots thudding on polished floors. Mira matched his pace, whispering, "Sir, High J kills unadapted. Alari train years for it." "Trained enough," Evan muttered. Muscles burned from last night's exertions, but adrenaline surged. They entered the gravity gallery. Vast corridor stretched endless, walls shimmering with force fields. Sareth tapped a panel. Gravity hummed to life at standard Valari pull, 1.8 G. Evan felt the weight settle, knees flexing deeper. "Baseline," Sareth commanded. She glided ahead, lithe and effortless, scales rippling under robes. Evan matched her stride. Shifted center low, wider stance. Heels dug in first, rolling to toes. Breathe deep. No strain showed, courtiers murmured. Keth barked from the observation deck above. "Illusion! Scan him." Sareth ignored. She ramped the dial. 2.2 G. Air thickened. Evan's lungs worked harder, but he adjusted. Shorter steps, arms loose for balance. Sweat beaded, yet his face stayed calm. "Watch," Sareth said to the elders. Her voice carried fascination. "He adapts. No collapse." Evan grinned through the press. Earth gyms, heavy lifts. Same principle. She paused, turning fully to him. Frills perked. "Demonstrate further." Gravity spiked to 2.7 G. Legs screamed. Most humans would buckle. Evan dropped lower, like squatting mid-march. Pace slowed, but steady. One foot after the other. Crowd gasped as Valari guards nearby grunted, postures sagging. Mira whistled low. "Damn, sir." Sareth's tail curled toward him. Pride gleamed in her eyes.
"Endurance pure. Order scan."
Med drones whirred in. Beams swept Evan's torso, limbs. Hollow popped up beside her, graph spiking minor adrenaline, cortisol flat. Guard scans flashed next, theirs redlined. Stress markers triple his.
"Impossible," an elder hissed. "No augmentation."
"Will alone." Keth pounded his slate. "Trickery. Human glands hidden." Sareth silenced him with a glare. "Truth. Terran withstands better than warriors." She beckoned Evan closer. Gravity held at 2.7 G. He reached her side without falter. Her hand brushed his arm. Intimate spark amid the strain. "Meal now," she declared. "Share. Mimic me." Servitors wheeled in a low table, anti-grav to counter the pull. Steaming platters, spiced meats, crystal fruits, viscous nectars. Evan knelt slow, joints protesting but holding. Sareth sat fluid across him. She lifted a fork tine, three-pronged, Valari style, and speared a slab. Evan mirrored, grabbed his own, adjusted grip for the weight. Bit matched hers, chewed deliberate. She copied next. His spoon dive into nectar. Slurped, precise, eyes locked on his, test veiled as courtesy. Courtiers leaned in. Keth sneered from above. He apes. No depth. Evan swallowed, depths in the doing. He offered her his utensil. Human fork from his kit, 2 tines. "Your turn." Sareth took it. Frowned at the simplicity. Twirled meat. Ate. Primitive. Effective. Her fangs clicked approval. Mira knelt beside, scanning threats. Keth's rallying holdouts. Elders split. Evan nodded fraction. Kept eating. Sareth ramped gravity again. 3.1 G. Table trembled. Guard slumped to knees. Evan braced palms on edge. Adjusted fork angle. Spooned nectar without spill. Her laugh vibrated low. "You shift. Like water." "Physics," he said. "Leverage." Scan drones refreshed. His markers. Elevated but green. Guards. Critical yellow. Elders bowed heads. Keth lunged down the ramp. "Enough. Warrants execute." Sareth rose smooth. Pulled Evan up with her. His muscles quivered but locked. She pressed close. Chest to chest. Markings pulsing gold against his shirt. Witness. Terran claims true. No chain. Bridge. Crowd roared. Elders knelt full. Keth froze. Slate cracking in grip. Mira grinned. "Coup crushed, sir." But Sareth's whisper cut private. "Not over. Deeper trust needed." Her claws traced his jaw. Heat built despite gravity's crush. Evan met her gaze. Pulse raced, not from weight. Led on. She dialed gravity neutral. Servitors cleared. Private alcove beckoned off the gallery. Mira posted guard outside. Inside, Cirith shed outer robe. Scales gleamed full. Verify mimicry, intimate. Evan stepped in. Door sealed. Her hands guided his to her waist. Gravity low now, but tension high. He traced ridges, precise, like her customs. She mirrored his touch, fingers mapping human contours. Moans built, bodies synced under alcove lights. Alari fire met Terran stamina. Climax crashed waves. She curled against him after, claws retracted soft. Keth plots still. But you endure. Evan stroked her frill. We endure. Alarms blared sudden. Mira's voice pierced doors. Sir, Queen's wing breached. Keth's loyalists inbound. Cirith bolted up, grabbed blade from wall. Gallery defense. Public final test. Evan dressed fast, grabbed Mira's spare stun rod. Romance forged steel. Together. They charged out. Gallery hummed active. Loyalists swarmed the high end. Keth at lead. Warriors amped on stims. Cirith ramped gravity full corridor. 3.5 G zone. Invaders staggered mid-charge. Guards loyal to her adapted quick. Evan dove low. Adjusted stance wide. Rod crackled. Dropped two before they recovered. Flank! Mira yelled. She covered his left. Shots precise. Cirith leaped apex, blade singing. Felled three. Her eyes found Evan's across chaos. Bridge holds! Keth roared, charging through weight. Die, manipulator! Evan met him head on. Gravity crushed, but he pivoted low, rod to knee. Keth buckled. Slate shattered. Queen pinned the Chancellor. Exile. Elders witnessed. Cheers thundered. Mira clapped Evan's back. Promotion earned, sir. Cirith pulled him close public again. Lips brushed ear. Mine eternal. Evan grinned. Adjusted stance instinctive. Ours. But a drone hummed, urgent, off-world signal. Mira checked. Earth fleet inbound. Alliance terms shift. Cirith's frills perked. New test dawned. Humidity choked the air. Evan Hale wiped sweat from his eyes as his suite's vents hissed thick mist. Alarms silent. No breach alert. Just sudden swamp. 95% relative humidity. Climbing fast. His skin prickled. Lungs burned on each breath. He lunged for the control panel, locked out. Red override glyph pulsed. Sabotage. Mira. His voice cut through the comm beat in his ear. Suite's flooding steam. Someone jacked the ENV controls. Copy, sir. On my way. Seal it if you can. Palace protocols blind to human tolerances. Mira's tone stayed level. Oots thudded distant in the hall. Evan scanned the room. Bedding. Synth silk sheets. Absorbent. Tape. Emergency kit roll. Industrial adhesive. Vent grill. Hexagonal alloy. 4 screws. He grabbed a multi-tool from his belt. Terran issue. Compact as a fist. No time for finesse. Steam billowed thicker. Visibility dropped to 5 meters. His shirt clung heavy. He yanked the nearest sheet free, twisted it into a rope. Jammed one end into the primary intake vent above the bed. Air whooshed, fighting back. Screws next. Multi-tool whirred. Grill popped loose in seconds. He peered inside. Moisture recyclers gummed, deliberate bypass. Classic Keth move. Chancellor Ruin's protocol hawks loved accidental tests. Evan ripped the sheet taut across the opening. Tape sealed edges, layer on layer, no leaks. Secondary vent gurgled on the wall. He repeated, sheet plug, grill pry, tape lockdown. Fingers slick but steady. Heart rate steady at 120. Routine fix. Space station hacks, colony dome patches. Aliens built flawless systems. Humans patched the gaps. Humidity peaked at 98%. Vision blurred. He dropped to knees. Taped the floor seam where mist pooled. Airflow stabilized. Recyclers whined. Pulling dry now. Temp dropped 2 degrees. Breathable. Door hissed open. No knock. Queen Cirith Ball glided in, frills half raised in curiosity. Her scales gleamed under low lights. Iridescent blue. Claws retracted to nubs, trailing. 2 guards, rigid. No Chancellor Keth, but his scent lingered. Sharp ozone. Evan straightened, wiped hands on pants. Your Majesty. He bowed shallow. Human style, no grovel. Protocol minimal after last week's compliment incident. She tilted head, golden eyes fixed on the jury-rigged vents. Frills quivered. Liaison hail. You reshape my palace air as if clay. Voice melodic precise. Translator implant flawless. But her sibilance hissed natural. Engineer had it, ma'am. Patch holds till techs fix the root. He gestured vents. Tape gleamed wet. Someone spiked the humidity. Human lungs don't love it. Her gaze lingered on his sweat-slick arms. Muscles tensed from the scramble. Kethruin reports malfunction. Routine calibration. One claw-tapped chin. Yet you endure. Verify. Mira burst in, stun rifle slung. Sir. Secure. Eyes flicked to Queen. Stance eased fraction. All good, Captain. Fixed. Evan nodded her clear. Sareth's frills flared full. Arousal? Awe? Hard to parse alien cues? Impressive. Terran ingenuity. She circled the bed, inspected seals. Claws traced tape edge. Gentle. No tools beyond yours. Minutes only. Keeps us alive, OutSystem. Evan shrugged. Humble flex. Your systems are solid. Just needed a nudge. Chancellor Kethruin strode in then. Robes crisp. Face scaled tight. Majesty. The human manipulates. Silence. Sareth's voice snapped. Gravity ticked up. 1.2 G casual. Keth swayed. Corrected. He stabilizes what you unmake. Accidental? Chancellor? Keth's vents hissed. Pheromone stress. Calibration error. Human tolerance is uncharted. Uncharted? Sareth's laugh chimed low. He charts them now. She faced Evan direct. Claws brushed his arm. Test. Warmth spread. Your words last audience bind. Strong hands. Worthy touch. We verify claims literal. Evan's pulse jumped. That offhand compliment. Casual earth flirt. Now court law. Her biology demanded proof. Forced proximity ritual. Ma'am, you endure tests. This. First bridge. Frills brushed his shoulder. Intimate. Scent like spiced ozone. Move him. Adjacent royal quarters. My oversight direct. Keth sputtered. Majesty. Protocol. Overridden. Sareth signaled guards. They hauled Evan's kit swift. Mira stepped forward. With respect, Your Majesty. Security breach here means risk there. I accompany. Sareth eyed Mira. Assessed rifle. Stance. Captain Soul guards well. Accepted. Frills relaxed. Efficiency pleases. Evan grabbed his multi-tool last. Palace shifted around him. Servos hummed. Quarters relocated mid-hall. Doors apart by 10 paces. Hers, grand archway his. Spartan but sealed. Guards dumped gear inside. Evan unpacked fast. New vents pristine. No tampering yet. He tested humidity. 40%. Perfect. Door chime. Sareth entered alone. No entourage. Robes looser, scales oiled sheen. Settle? Fine, ma'am. Thanks for the upgrade.
He stowed tools.
Avoided her gaze. Too intense. She approached. Claws retracted fully. Call me Sareth. In private. Paced his space, frills sampling air. Human scent. Resilient. Evan turned. Met eyes. Gold flecks danced. Evan. And yours? Commands respect. Her claw traced his taped vent sample. He'd salvaged a scrap. This binds air. Like your words bind us. Leaned closer. Heat radiated. Verify further? Heart hammered. Cultural minefield. But her frills quivered eager. He nodded slow. Took her claw hand. Scaled. Warm. Squeezed gentle. Strong grip, too. She purred. Vibration through scales. Pulled him to sit on bed edge. Proximity electric. Terrans improvise. Vol precise. Together? Frill brushed his neck. Bridge builds. His free hand steadied her waist. Muscles corded under silk. Door buzzed. Mira's voice. Sir. Perimeter clear. Keth's circling halls. Eyes only. Sareth withdrew fraction. Claws flexed. He plots. Tests continue. Stood fluid. Rest. Oversight begins dawn. She glided out. Door sealed. Evan exhaled. Palm tingled. Romance ignited. Slow burn. Alien fire. Mira slipped in. That looked cozy. You alive? Barely. Evan grinned. She's testing. Hard. Her way or Keth's spikes. Mira checked vents. Nodded approval. Good patch. Fleet pinged earlier. Earth wants status. Tell 'em holding. Evan lay back. Ceiling glowed soft. New quarters hummed secure. But Keth's grudge festered. Dawn pierced vents. Evan rose early. Routine. Stretches. Low calisthenics. 1.5 G here. Palace default. Bones creaked. Adapted. Sirith's door parted. She emerged. Blade at hip. Training leathers hugged form. Join gallery. Verify strength. Lead on. Evan grabbed stunrod. Mira's loner. They walked side by side. Frills brushed arm casual now. Gallery loomed. Vast dome. Gravity plates tunable. Warriors sparred. High jeeps claw strikes. Aliens awed his endurance last demo. Humans pushed limits quiet. Keth waited center. With elders. Majesty. Public calibration. Human claims public. Sirith nodded. Proceed. Plates ramped. 2G Evan widened stance. Balanced. Keth smirked. Complement strength. Prove. Spar light. Evan dodged claw feint. Rod parried blade. Pivot low. Human leverage. Keth overextended. Evan tapped knee. Gentle warning. Crowd hissed awe. Elders murmured. Sirith stepped ring. Bridge strengthens. Claw on Evan's shoulder public. Possessive. Keth bowed stiff. As you decree. But alarms wailed. Distant alarms shrieked through the gallery vents. Evan spun toward the sound. Stunrod raised. Sirith's claw tightened on his shoulder. Firm anchor. Warriors dropped into defensive crouches. Keth barked orders, eyes flicking to Evan with venom. Intruders? Evan asked, scanning high arches. Protocol breach. Sirith pulled him toward a side passage. Secure chamber. Now. They sprinted. Frills along her neck flared alert. 2G plates hummed down to 1G easier strides. Mira burst from a side door, pulse rifle primed.
Evan!
Perimeter scanned clear. False alarm? Keth shoved past. Not false. Sabotage signal. Human interference suspected. Sirith halted him with a raised talon. Evidence first, Chancellor. Gallery clears. Crowd dispersed in disciplined waves. Evan followed Sirith into her private vault. Thick walls, hololocks sealing behind. Mira posted at the door. Inside. Crystal console glowed. Sirith activated a recorder orb, its light pulsing like a heartbeat. Transcript review, she commanded. Voice smooth, precise. Orb projected words in holographic script. Evans from yesterday's audience. Your scales catch light like polished obsidian. Strong lines. Impressive. Evans got twisted. Casual line. Engineer's compliment on her armor weave. Harmless back home. Sirith's golden eyes locked on him. By vowel law, this constitutes courtship declaration. Public praise of form binds verifier to claim. You invite scrutiny. Intimate verification. Mira's voice crackled from the doorcom. Evan, that's her rules. Evan cut in. Heart hammered. No panic. Think, engineer. Queen Sirith. That was respect. Not proposal. Humans compliment freely. No strings. Keth stormed the console feed. Remote link. Lies. Diplomatic ploy. Human loosens customs to undermine throne. Sirith silenced him with a gesture. Frills relaxed fraction. Curiosity sparked. Explain binding. Consent absent. Evan nodded. Straight talk. Exactly. No consent. No deal. Draft amendment. Plain terms. Compliments observe only. No verification unless both agree. Boundaries clear. Touch. Proximity. Intimacy. Defined. Signed. Her talon traced the holoscript. Paused. Amendment novel. Verifies trust without trap. Proposed terms.
Now?
Evan stepped closer. Air hummed with her scent. Ozone and spice. Verbal contract first. Sirith extended claw. Compliments. Visual admiration. No tactile claim. Verification mutual ritual only. Breach voids all. Agreed. Evan clasped her claw. Warm, scaled grip. Pulse synced through contact. Courtship dodged. Relief flooded. Keth's feed snarled. Unsanctioned. Majesty, this mocks law. Sirith ignored him. Eyes gleamed. Amendment holds. Validate now. Sanctioned closeness ritual. Builds bridge. Evan blinked. Validate how? Proximity bind. She guided him to a raised dais. Soft glow pads. Sit. Align fields. Verify endurance. Sync. Forced proximity. Heart raced. Mira's calm buzzed warning. Ignore. Play ball. He sat cross-legged. Sereth mirrored, knees brushing his. Heat radiated. Her biology thrummed. Low vibration through scales. Breathe match. Hold gaze. Trust metric rises.
Evan matched rhythm.
Inhale. Exhale. Golden eyes pulled him in. Depths like starfields. Minutes stretched. Sweat beaded under 1G tunic. Her frill brushed his jaw. Accidental. Intentional. Human resilience, she murmured. Pulse steady. No flinch. Engineer's trick. Adapt or break. Vibration deepened. Intimate hum. Body language screamed fascination. Tail coiled near his leg, possessive curl. Keth's feed erupted. Heresy.
Amendment unratified. I challenge under Elder Code.
Public judgment duel of customs. Sereth broke contact. Stood fluid. Challenge accepted. Dawn court. Witnesses full. Human envoy defends contract. Evan rose, palm tingling from grip. Duel? What form? Customs trial. Prove amendment serves ball strength. Fail courtship enforces full. Mira. Yanked. Door. Evan? We bail? No. He met Sereth's gaze. Spark there. Trust flicker. Romance kindled. We win. Court assembled at dawn. Vast throne hall thrummed. Thousands scaled in tears. Gravity plates idled neutral. Evan stood central podium. Mira at flank. Sereth presided elevated. Blade sheathed. Keth prowled opposite. Elders flanking. Protocol tomes open. Challenger speaks. Sereth intoned. Keth thrust a crystal rod. Hollow bloomed. Evan's transcript looped. Human words bind by law. Amendment erodes tradition. Courtship verifies claims. Strength. Form. Union. He praised Queen's lines. Must prove intimate match. Murmurs rippled. Aliens leaned. Frills perked at scandal. Evan gripped podium edge. Goal. Defend contract. Amendment strengthens. Consent builds alliance. Humans endure. Watch. He triggered demo orb. Projection. Terran engineering feats. Bridge spans under quake. Suits holding vacuum. No boasts. Facts. Complements fuel teams. No force. Vol warriors excel precision strikes. We match endurance. Together. Unbreakable. Elder hissed approval. Keth sneered. Words. Dual proof. Custom match. Bind ritual. Public. Endure Queen's verifier. Or forfeit. Sereth's eyes narrowed. Test him? Agreed, Evan said. Crowd gasped. Mira tensed. Hand on rifle. Platform rose. Isolated. Sereth descended. Training leathers clung. Curves lethal grace. Verifier protocol. Closeness bind. Public metric. Forced stage. Intimate under eyes. Evan squared shoulders. She circled close. Claw traced arm. Light. Testing. Endure. No retreat.
Heat built.
Vibration synced again. Stronger. Public now. Frills grazed neck. Breath mingled. His pulse spiked. Hers steadied his. Aliens awed. Human holds. No yield. Keth prowled edge. Extend. Full claim. Sereth paused. Whispered. For him alone. Your fire intrigues. Law bends for this. Evan grinned faint. Consent does. She pressed closer. Chest to chest. Bind peaked. Shared rhythm thundered. Trust metric holo soared. Greens to blues. Elders stood. Amendment validates! Bridge forged! Keth roared. Manipulation. But boat sealed. Cheers erupted. Sereth lingered, touch claw on chest. Possessive. Private spark. Evan exhaled. One. But Keth's glare promised more. Deeper alarms echoed. Real this time. Perimeter breach. Sereth pulled him aside. True threat inbound. Stand with me? Alliance sealed. Romance burned hotter. Evan stepped through the towering archway into the judgment hall, Mira's boots echoing his at his side. Crystal spires hummed overhead, amplifying every whisper from the assembled court. Kethrun waited on the central dais. Frills flared in accusation, his claws tapping a holographic docket. Envoy hail, Keth intoned, voice slicing the air. You stand accused of ritual deception. Your amendment mocks Baal law. Restate your claim, or face expulsion. Evan halted at the marked line. No flinch. The Queen's platform loomed empty above, but her scent lingered from the breach skirmish, smoke and spice. "My compliment stands clarified," he said, voice steady. "I called Queen Sirith's form stunning as human admiration. Beauty that commands respect. Not a binding claim. Fact, her precision rivals any warrior I've seen. No deceit." Murmurs rippled. Elders leaned forward, eyes gleaming. Keth's tail lashed. "Human vagueness insults us. Verifier synced. Your rhythms bound. Prove respect now. Submit to full audit. Bear access for the court." Mira shifted, hand ghosting her holster. Evan caught her warning glance. Audit meant invasive scans, claws parting armor, probes syncing vitals publicly. Val custom-treated bodies like open ledgers. "No," Evan said flat. He crossed arms, boots planted. "Not without her consent." Gasps echoed. Keth recoiled, frills inverting in shock. "Insolence!" "Protocol demands." "Demands what?" Sarith's voice cut through as her platform descended. She emerged from the shadowed lift, leathers scarred from the breach fight, claws sheathed but gleaming. Her gaze locked on Evan. Curious, heated. Frills quivered faint. Sinking to his pulse, he swore he felt across the gap. Evan held her stare. No bow, no retreat, human normal. Wait for the signal. Keth bowed low. "Majesty, the human defies audit. Execute forfeiture." Sarith circled the dais edge, descending steps with lethal grace. Court held breath. She stopped inches from Evan, heat radiating. Frills brushed his shoulder. Deliberate. "He refuses access," she said. Voice a silken command. "Without my word. Explain this restraint, Terran." Evan met her eyes, gold-flecked black. "Humans ask first. Consent builds trust. Your verifier showed sync. We matched, but I don't presume. You signal, or no deal." Her claw lifted, hovering at his collar. Court tensed. Mira's grip tightened on her rifle stock. Sarith's breath ghosted his neck, vibration humming low, private echo of the ritual peak. "Amendment confirmed," she declared, loud for all. Hale's words ring true, no deception. Keth's accusations nullified. Keth snarled, claws scraping stone. "Majesty, he manipulates. Silence." Sarith's tail flicked dismissal. Elders nodded. Hollow vote flashed green cascade. Cheers erupted, warriors thumping chests. Keth slunk back, glare venomous. Sarith turned fully to Evan, claw tracing his jaw. Light, possessive, intimate under spotlights. "You intrigue, Hale. Volbon seal and fire." I offered diplomatic tie. "Stand as my anchor. Share quarters councils. Verify alliance close." Evan's pulse jumped, but he grinned faint. Her curves pressed near, leathers whispering against his uniform. Forced proximity. Palace law now. Romance sparked in her dilating pupils. "I accept," he said. "On human vow. I stand with you. No force. No boasts. Endurance matched. Together unbreakable." She pressed claw to his chest over heart. Sync thrummed. "Stronger. Private. Vowed. Quarters adjoin mine. Begin now." Mira exhaled sharp behind him. "Evan, Captain Soul guards the bond," Sarith added, eyes never leaving his. "Perimeter holds, but shadows stir. Keth's allies prowl." Evan nodded, hand brushing hers accidental, electric. Court dispersed in awe, whispering of the human who said no to a queen and earned her crown of trust. They moved as unit, Mira flanking, Sarith leading to inner halls, alarms quieted, but tension hummed. Evan felt her glance back, frills curling invitation, deeper chambers sealed behind. Sarith's suite sprawled, silks, hollow maps pulsing threat vectors. She shed outer leathers, revealing scaled undersuit clinging curves. Breach was probe. Keth tests fractures. Claw gestured couch. "Sit." Verify bond. Evan dropped gear, sat. Mira posted at door, eyes scanning. "Be solid, Majesty. Humans endure." Sarith knelt before him. Queen level with envoy. Unheard. Claw parted his collar, tracing pulse. "Your no crowned you." Ball yield to strength veiled in restraint. Vibration built. Sinking chests. Heat coiled low. Evan cupped her wrist gentle. "Consent still?" Voice rough. She leaned in, lips brushing ear. Signaled. Mouth claimed his. Fierce, precise. Tongues met, alien spice flooding senses, frills wrapped neck, pulling close. His hands found waist, scales warm silk under fingers. Mira cleared throat. Perimeter ping, scouts inbound. Sereth broke kiss, eyes blazing. Together. She rose, sinking armor holo to his wrist unit. Human endurance, ball precision, unbreakable. Evan stood. Rifle from Mira seamless. They charged corridor. Queen, envoy, guard, blast slit shadows. Invaders swarmed, claws gleaming. Evan dropped first pair. Precise bursts. No waste. Sereth struck fluid, tail whipping throats. Mira covered flanks. Sync perfect. His stamina fed her strikes endless. One foe lunged Sereth. Evan tackled, pinning. She finished with claw to throat. My anchor. Keth's voice crackled comms.
Yield, pretender!
Sereth snarled back. Witness. She broadcast, sync hollow. Metric soaring. Trust blue fire peak. Invaders faltered, awed, routed. Back in suite, breath ragged. Sereth pulled Evan close. Mira nodding approval before sealing outer guard. Bond holds. Queen murmured. Claws stripping uniform slow. Skin met scales. Fire. He explored curves. Thumbs circling frill bases. She arched. Vibration peaking shared. Human fire. Burns true. Thrust, joined, rhythm, thunder. Trust forged intimate. No force, consent crowned. Dawn hollow glowed. Keth summoned. Public recant. Evan stood at her side. Hand laced hers. Court bowed deeper. Alliance. Sealed. Romance blazed. Threats loomed, but unbreakable. Evan whispered, "Ready for more?" Her grin flashed claws. "Endure me." Perimeter alarms flickered anew. Digger shadow. They moved as one.